had not specifically said, "Mind your manners," but she understood that, too. She hadn't any choice. She had known, because her father had told her 5 years ago when her mother died, that she would have no inheritance. What money there was tied up very strictly for the eldest son. "Not that Dickie will mistreat you," their father had said with the ghost of a smile, "but I feel that with your temperament you had best have as long as possible a warning to resign yourself to it. You'll like being dependent on your brother even less, I fancy, than you like being dependent on me." He tapped his fingers on his desk. The thought that lay silent between them did not need to be spoken aloud, that it was not likely she would marry. She was proud, and if she had not been, her parents would have been proud for her. And there is little market for penniless blue bloods of no particular beauty, especially when the blueness of the blood is suspected to have been diluted by a questionable great-grandmother on the mother's side. What the questionableness exactly consisted of, Harry was not sure. With the self-centeredness of childhood, she had not thought to ask. And later, after she had realized that she did not care for society, nor society for her, she had no desire to ask. The shipboard journey east on the Cecilia had been long but uneventful. She had found her sea legs almost at once, and had made friends with a middle-aged lady, also traveling alone, who asked no personal questions, and loaned her novels freely to her young companion, and discussed them with her upon their return. She had let her own mind go numb, and had read the novels and sat in the sun and strolled the decks, and not thought about the past or the future. They docked at Sitzara without mishap, and she found the earth heaved under her strangely when she first set foot ashore. Richard had been granted a month's leave to meet her and escort her north to her new home. He looked younger than she had expected. He had gone overseas 3 years ago and had not been home again since. He was affectionate to her at their reunion, but wary. They seemed to have little in common anymore. "I shouldn't be surprised," she thought. "It's been a long time since we played together every day, before Dickie was sent off to school. I'm an encumbrance now, and he has his career to think of. But it would be nice to be friends," she thought wistfully. When she pressed him to give her some idea of what she could expect of her new life, he shrugged and said, "You'll see. The people are like home, you know. You needn't have much to do with the natives. There are the servants, of course, but they are all right. Don't worry about it." And he looked at her with so worried a face that she didn't know whether to laugh or to shake him. She said, "I wish you would tell me what's worrying you." Variations of this conversation occurred several times during the first days of their journey together. At this point, there would be a long silence. Finally, as if he could bear it no more, he burst out, "You won't be able to go on as you did at home, you know." "But what do you mean?" She hadn't thought much about native servants or her position yet, and obviously Richard knew her well enough of old to guess that now. She had written him letters, several each year, since he had gone overseas, but he had rarely answered. She had not minded very much, although she had thought occasionally, as when his 6 hastily scrawled lines at Christmas arrived, that it would have been pleasant if he were a better correspondent. But it hadn't troubled her. It troubled her now, for she felt that she was facing a stranger who perhaps knew too much about her and her accustomed way of life. She blinked at him and tried to rearrange her thoughts. She was excited, but she was frightened, too, and Richard was all she had. The memory of their father's funeral, and she the only family member standing beside the minister, and of the small handful of servants and tenants whom she had known all her life and who were far away from her now, was still raw and recent. She didn't want to think about her new life. She wanted time to ease into it gradually. She wanted to pretend that she was a tourist. "Dick, what do you mean?"